Hello, year one and year two. Welcome back to English Lessons Live with Mr. Phillips. We're here on Thursday. It's our second reading session of the week. We're back here again with me inside my box and all our information there. Hopefully, this way works a little bit easier for you so you can see everything on the screen. As usual, if you go into the description below the video, you can find a copy of Clever Cakes by Michael Rosen, which is what we're reading today, and you can have a copy for yourself. If you can't, absolutely fine, because I'm going to show everything to you on the screen. Okay? Just a clarification, please remember that when I'm asking you questions or when I'm saying what do you think this word means, try and pause the video at that point and answer before I give you the answer. That way you're engaging with it really well rather than just listen to me talk. Okay, so our book today is Clever Cakes by Michael Rosen, and you know it's a good one if Michael Rosen's written it. He is fantastic. So the first thing we need to do is we need to predict. That's part one, isn't it, of our reading lesson. And we always start our prediction with, I'm going to move myself out of the way of that little cartoon there. We always start our prediction off with, I predict that. Okay, so let's have a little look. Clever Cakes. Well, there's not much information to go by, is there? And the only little picture we've got is that robin on a branch. So really, I'm going to have to go with the name. So Clever Cakes. Potentially, is it about a cake that if you eat it, it will make you clever? Maybe. Maybe it's like a little nickname, like sometimes people can be called Clever Clogs. If they know quite a lot, maybe it's that. Clever Cakes. Possibly. Maybe it's the name of a shop. Possibly. We'll have to think. So, can you have a little think about what you predict this story is going to be about? And what I want you to do is write down or tell someone, I predict that, and then say what you think the story is going to be about. Pause the video there and have a little go at doing that for me now. Okay, so my opinion is I think it's going to be someone who is quite clever. I think it's a nickname like Clever Clogs, Clever Cakes. I predict that, and I'm going to say Clever Cakes is a nickname for someone who is very clever and is a chef. Maybe it's a chef who makes cakes and everyone calls them Clever Cakes. That's what I predict. It doesn't matter if your prediction's different. What matters is that we're having a go and we're thinking about the story before we start it. Okay? Now we've done our prediction, the next thing we need to do is we need to read the book. So let's move ourselves over to the book. Here we are, Clever Cakes. So if you've got your own version, you can have a little look at that. If not, you can just have a little look at my version. And I think my picture, it fits beautifully down the side here. So you can see me while we're reading the book as well. Okay, Clever Cakes. So first of all, we get this nice picture with the robin again. Well, that's the whole page. That robin sitting in the tree. Once there was a girl called Marcia who lived with her granny at the edge of the woods. One day Marcia said, Granny, can I play outside with my friends? Yes, Marcia, said Granny, but don't run off into the woods, will you? There are big bad animals there that bite. Off went Marcia to play with her friends. They played hide and seek. And there's a little picture of Grandma and Marcia and her friends playing hide and seek and their house at the edge of the woods. Marcia went away to hide, and she hid right deep in the woods. Then she waited for her friends to find her. She waited and waited, but they never came. So Marcia came out of the hiding place and started walking home. Now, I think Grandma did tell Marcia not to go into the woods, so she's not listened to Grandma there, has she? She went this way, then that way, but very soon she knew she was lost. "Help!" she shouted. "Help!" But no one came. Then, very suddenly, up came a massive, muscly bear. And there's a picture of the massive, muscly bear wearing a neckerchief and a shirt, it seems. And there's Marcia. She doesn't look particularly happy, but then she doesn't look particularly scared to see the bear either, does she? "Aha!" said the bear. "You come with me, little girl. I'm taking you home. I want you to cook my dinner, wash my trousers, and scrub the floor in my house." "I don't want to do that, or anything like it. Thank you very much," said Marcia. "I want to go home." "Oh, no, you don't," said the bear. "You're coming home with me." And he picked up Marcia in his massive, muscly paws and took her off to his house. And there is a picture of the massive, muscly bear taking Marcia off to his house. And that is the end of the extract that we're reading today. So that is the first little bit of Clever Cakes. Now I'm just going to get us back to the start again so we can have a little look for our evidence later on. Right. That kind of reminds me of some fairy tale books. Kind of gives me a bit of a similar vibe to some fairy tale books. We might look at that a little bit later. So we've predicted, we've now read the book. It's now time to clarify some vocabulary. Now, most of the words in the book today, I think were okay. So we've only got 2 words to clarify today. We've got muscly and we've got scrub. The bear was described as a muscly bear, and the bear asked Marcia to go and scrub her floors. So first of all, let's start with muscly. What do you think muscly means? Pause the video here, and on a piece of paper or with a person sitting next to you, you can tell them, what do you think muscly means? Pause the video there and write down your answer. Okay. And now, what about scrub? What do you think scrub means? The bear wanted Marcia to go to his house and scrub his floors. What do you think scrub might mean? Pause the video there and write down what you think for me. Okay? Should we have a look at these 2 words now? So first of all, muscly. I wonder what you put down for muscly. Well, muscly is someone who's got lots of muscles. If you are muscly, then you've got lots of muscles. You are muscular. You're very strong. You're very solid. Okay? So someone that is muscly has lots of muscles. Muscles as in these muscles, not the muscles that you can eat and that are seafood. And then what about scrub? What do you think for scrub? Well, to scrub something means to rub it really hard, and we normally think about it with a brush, don't we? We normally scrub something to get it clean. We rub it really hard, normally to get it clean. So rub something to get it clean. There we go. I wonder if you had the same answers for me, for muscly or for scrub. And then you'll notice down here, there's another extra little question that I thought I'd throw in. And this is the question I was saying before. Which other fairy tale stories does this one remind us of? Do you know any other fairy tale stories that are a little bit similar to this? I was thinking it's a little bit like Goldilocks, because there's a girl and there's some bears. It's also a little bit like Little Red Riding Hood, because there's a girl who's with her grandmother and they're going through the woods, and there's a dangerous animal. So it's a little bit like Goldilocks, and it's a little bit like Little Red Riding Hood. I wonder if those are the ones you thought of, or what if you thought of any other ones. So now we've predicted, and we've read the book, and now we've clarified some vocabulary. It's time to answer some questions about the book. So I'm going to move myself up here so I'm out of the way. There we go. Are we ready? So with these questions, remember, you don't have to write the question down, but I want you to remember to pause the video after I've said the question and have a go at answering it first before I tell you what I would put down for the answer. Okay? So question number one is, where was Marcia's house? Where was Marcia's house? Have a little think. If you need to go back and check in the text, I absolutely would. That's where you'll find the answer, because it's not cheating to go and have a little look. It's the best thing to do. Pause the video there. Go and have a little look in the book. And see if you can tell me and write down, where was Marcia's house? Okay, should we have a little look together in the book now? So, where was Marcia's house? Let's move ourselves back to the book. Now, that would probably be towards the start, wouldn't it? So, should we read the very beginning bit again? It says, once there was a girl called Marcia who lived with her granny at the edge of the woods. So, where was Marcia's house? It was at the edge of the woods. It wasn't in the forest or just near the forest. Marcia and her grandma lived at the edge of the woods. So I'm going to delete that question. I'm going to write my answer in there now. Where was Marcia's house? It was at the edge of the woods. Just enough space there. Fantastic. Well done if you got that answer. Okay. Number two is a little bit worded, a little bit more tricky. It says, how did Marcia end up so far into the woods? How did Marcia end up so far into the woods? Because Grandma told her not to go into the woods, didn't she? So how did Marcia end up so far in the woods? Pause the video, have a little look back in the book, and see if you can find that answer for me. Okay? I wonder what you found. How did Marcia end up so far into the woods? Let's have a little look. One day Marcia said, Granny, can I play outside with my friends? Yes, Marcia, said Granny, but don't run off into the woods, will you? There are big, bad animals there that bite. So there's Grandma telling her not to do it. But that doesn't tell us how she ended up so far into the woods yet. Off went Marcia to play with her friends. They played hide and seek. Marcia went away to hide, and she hid right deep into the woods. Then she waited for her friends to find her. So, how did Marcia end up so far in the woods? Well, it says here, she went away to hide, and she hid right in deep into the woods. So that is our answer, isn't it? How did Marcia end up so far in the woods? You could write maybe she was playing hide and seek, or she hid very deep into the forest, or something like that. If you just put she was playing hide and seek, that's absolutely fine as well, or she was playing hide and seek with her friends. Those are absolutely right answers, because she was going to hide, wasn't she, into the woods, and that's how she ended up really far into the woods. Okay, well done. Question 3. Are you ready for question 3? Okay, so question 3 says, name just one thing that the bear wanted Marcia to do for him. Name one thing, there's quite a few, but name one thing that the bear wanted Marcia to do for him. Okay, pause the video there, go and have a look in the book, it's the bit where the bear is, and tell me one thing that the bear wanted her to do. Okay, are we ready? Shall we have a little look together? Here we go then, let's go back to the book again. You see how we're always going back to the book? We're not just trying to remember the answers, we're always going back to the book to go and check. So I'm going to skip to the bit with the bear because obviously it's going to be in that bit if we're looking for something that the bear asked Marcia to do. Here is the bit with the bear. It says, "Aha," said the bear. "You come with me, little girl. I'm taking you home. I want you to cook my dinner, wash my trousers, and scrub the floor in my house." So what's one of the things that the bear wanted her to do? Well, I can see 4 things that the bear wanted her to do. Number 1, he wanted her to go with her to his house. We could say that for 1, couldn't we? Another one is he wanted her to cook his dinner. That was another one. He also wanted her to wash his trousers. That was the third one. And number 4 was to scrub the floor. And that's that word we looked at before and clarified, wasn't it? To scrub the floor. So when the question says, name one thing that the bear wanted her to do, you can have any of those 4. All 4 of those are correct answers, but you only need to write one down. The one I'm going to put down is scrub his floor because that has the word from our clarify section in it. He wanted her to scrub the floor. Okay, are you ready for the last question now? The last question says, did Marcia want to go to the bear's house? Did Marcia want to go to the bear's house? So if you need to put either yes or no. And after you put yes or no, can you put because? And can you tell me why you've chosen your answer? So if you think yes, that Marcia did want to go with the bear, say yes, because, and tell me why. And then if you say no, tell me because and why. So did Marcia want to go to the bear's house? Pause the video there and go and have a little look for the answer. Okay, are we ready? Did Marcia want to go to the bear's house? That's for one last time. Go back to our book and have a look. I don't want to do that or anything like it. Thank you very much, said Marcia. I want to go home. Oh, no, you don't, said the bear. You're coming with me. He picked up Marcia in his massive muscly paws and took her off to his house. So, did Marcia want to go? Well, the answer's no, isn't it? Because it says here, I don't want to do that. So Marcia said that she didn't want to do it, and the bear had to pick her up to make her do it. So we're going to go back to my answer. And did Marcia want to go to the bear's house? We're saying no, aren't we? We're going to say no. No, because she said, I don't want to. That's how we know that she didn't want to. She said it, didn't she? She said, I don't want to do that. Or anything like it. Well done. Those are the answers to all 4 of our questions. I wonder if you got any answers that were really, really similar to my answers. Okay, here is our last section now because we have predicted, we have read the book, we've clarified some vocabulary, and now we've answered some questions. So the last thing to do is to do our summary. It says, if you were Marcia, what would you be thinking when the bear picked you up? If you were Marcia, what would you be thinking when the bear picked you up? Now, I'm not going to do this one for you. I want you to do this one completely on your own. But imagine that you were the character of Marcia in this picture. Let me go back to the picture and show you again. Imagine you were Marcia in that picture. What would you be thinking? What would you be thinking when the bear picked you up? Can you tell someone who's working with you, or if you're writing on a piece of paper, will you write down, if you were Marsha, what would you be thinking when the bear picked you up? Tell me what you would say to yourself. Okay? It might be something like, oh no, I wish he would put me down, or something like, I don't want to go to his house, or something like that. Okay? Well done, everyone. We've done another fantastic week of online English lessons. We've done a bit of writing and a bit of reading. So remember, we're not on a Friday, so don't come to the YouTube channel tomorrow because there won't be any videos tomorrow. And I will see you again at 11 o'clock on Monday morning, and we're going to do some writing again. Okay? See you later, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. Bye. 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 Bye.